Yeah. Hello, hello. Wonderful viewers. How are you all doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome once again to the broadcast of Patient Edu. Yeah, where we love doing what we know how to do best. And as usual, or perhaps as always, we'll give you the narrative of the story the way it is. Just the way we see it, that's the way we talk about it. All right. Today's topic, I hope I wouldn't stay more than the 1 hour mark. I just hope so, because it's a little bit jam-packed. So what we are going to do is we make a continuation of this broadcast. So let's dive in quickly. Today's topic is lessons to learn from the fallout that has been happening. For a while now. Yeah, that's it. Lessons to learn. So, the young man on your screen, as you all may know, he is Ibrahim Traore. Alright. And there, he gave a speech. One that I should say is a motivating factor, a wake-up call to men. Men should know why they are men, why God created them as men and not as sissy. Alright? Not a man dressing up like a woman or a man acting to be a woman. We don't have apology, and we will never have apology for saying the reality the way it should be said. Then on the flip side of reality, we'll still highlight the recent happenings going on in South Africa about their xenophobic outrage, rebranded, fully sponsored by the government. They play deaf ear and use the lying media to cover it up as usual. It's a shame on Africans, a massive shame on Africans. You cannot emulate the West to develop your cities, your places to the standard of the West, even to Asia. You cannot emulate to develop up to that standard in all ramification. But you can emulate a nonsense, and you even rebrand the nonsense to a 2.0 level. That is what is going on in Africa. That's what is going on in Africa. And we might, let's see, we'll talk about the story of the Ayatollah in this ongoing battle between Israel, led by the West, or perhaps backed up by the West, United States, and the Iran Islamic government. And we are going to give a brief rundown on what's going on there. That's why we said it is lessons to learn. This is a time to learn. Only if your mindset is open, so elaborate that it can contain what we are trying to bring out here today. It's important. Make no mistake about it. So, Traore, he spoke in French right there. And it was translated, not transliterate, translated word for word, verbatim, to English. And he made mention of the madness or lackadaisical attitude of men of these days. An event could be going on. You see them with their phone, as the Nigerians usually do. As the Nigerians usually do. They come out with their phones. They put it like this. They record. The other one will come out. Oh, they record. It's an iPhone. They record. And they share it to the world. They cannot stand up as men to put their feet on the ground and say, enough is enough. The West gave you social media, you became social nuisance. That's the men of Africa, the men of the world of today, not just Africa, even into the United States, more especially the black men. As dark as their skin is, that is how dark their mindset is, from their brain to their mind to their spiritual. Everything is dark. That is why abominable things is well respected in black communities and black societies. No apology for that. If you want to emulate something good, do it. Don't take up to the bad side and you now turn around and say, God is for us all. Or you point to the scripture, a side that you feel is okay to support your madness. We don't do crazy things here, you know. We don't have time for mad people everywhere. Now listen to Traore quickly, and so that we'll be able to move over to the next side without taking much of our time. You hear from Traore, then we'll move over to the next phase quickly. All right. Let's go there.
We don't fight because we want to fight. We fight because we've been attacked. A war has been imposed on us. And why has this war been imposed on us? And why does Africa suffer so much? I think everyone needs to understand this. It's because they want our land without us. And this didn't start today. It has always been this way for Africa. While on his visit to the central south of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore stood before troops at Camp Captain Thomas Sankara in Po, delivering not just a military briefing, but a stirring declaration of national purpose. Addressing the armed forces on a base named after Burkina Faso's revolutionary icon, Traore reminded them of their sacred duty to protect their homeland, guard its sovereignty, and uphold the ideals of resistance and self-determination that Sankara embodied. He praised the soldiers' discipline, emphasized their role in defending national integrity, and warned against foreign interference. Traore also drew a direct line between Sankara's revolutionary legacy and the country's current mission to break the chains of neo-colonial influence, prioritize African self-reliance, and construct a future rooted in dignity, justice, and collective responsibility. Have a listen all the way till the end and share your thoughts with us in the comments section. This is Uplifting Africa. This morning I wanted to come and congratulate all the forces in Po, and by extension the entire region. Congratulations on the work you've done. This is one of the most pacified regions, and that doesn't mean it's over. I also encourage you to continue the fight. This is a very dense area with a lot of forest. You have certainly managed to push back the enemy who tried to establish themselves here, and I hope you continue to patrol these forests to ensure there are no attempts at a return. So, I say congratulations, but also my encouragement for what's next. I hope I'm making myself clear. It's not because the enemy can no longer penetrate that it's over. This is guerrilla warfare. And here, we are at the National Commando Training Center. A commando knows what infiltration means. So, the enemy is capable of infiltrating. You must take this into account and remain constantly vigilant. After this, I want each of you to reflect on your commitment. Your commitment, because a war has been imposed on us, and today more than ever, I believe all combat forces must understand why we are fighting. I often tell element leaders to explain to their men why we are fighting. We don't fight because we want to fight. We fight because we've been attacked. A war has been imposed on us. And why has this war been imposed on us? I think everyone needs to understand this. It's because they want our land without us. And this didn't start today. It has always been this way for Africa. Remember slavery, where many Africans were deported, especially the strong, those of childbearing age, who were deported. Many died, and Africa was emptied. Then came the era of colonization, where they deported themselves to our lands, massacred us, massacred our ancestors, killed as many as possible. Africa has been colonized multiple times, and today more than ever, it's a new form of colonization. And why does Africa suffer so much? Because we have riches that interest the imperialists. I think each and every one of you must understand this. If you are able to put yourselves on the front line, to fight to the supreme sacrifice, as they say, it means you understand the meaning of your commitment. You have come to defend the nation, to protect this land that our ancestors bequeathed to us. Our predecessors wrote the anthem, and I think when you listen to the Burkinabe anthem, it begins with against, because they opposed several forms of colonization. The Burkinabe are against humiliation. We are against all forms of domination. The Burkinabe are against neo-colonialism. And you must take all of this into account to understand that they wrote the anthem to oppose a certain number of facts in this world. And they defended this land and bequeathed it to us. And our duty is to fight and defend our lands, also to bequeath them to our children. Today we are fighting, but not necessarily for ourselves, but for our children. Who here doesn't love their child? For those who have children, everyone loves their child. If danger were to befall a child, the father prefers to take the danger to spare the child. This is to say that the father prefers to die so that his child survives. So, we are fighting today for future generations, to bequeath them better lands so that they can live at ease. So there is no holding back in this fight. We will oppose everything these dominators want to impose on us. And you must continue to fight for that. Listen carefully to our anthem, and it should give you more motivation. Commit yourselves, because I often say, Burkina Faso is very rich. Today, we have grown in numbers in the armed forces, in the internal security forces, and in terms of equipment. We have also made many efforts. But where did we get these resources? Understand that there was mismanaged wealth, and there is even more. Because as some people think or can imagine, there is no bank in this world where you can go and get a loan to pay for armaments. There isn't one. They don't lend money in this world to go and pay for armaments. If you want to arm yourselves, you must use your own funds. But in the recent past, we were projected.
No, they do give loans. Traore, let me just interject here. They do give loans to countries to go and arm themselves. And number one of that country is Nigeria. Nigeria collected several billions of dollars loan to buy the American-made Tucano fighter jets, which they used in bombing their own citizens, not even terrorists. They went to an IDP camp where refugees are meant to be. Then the pilot literally shot the rockets, dropped the bombs, and obliterated the whole refugee camp, not terrorist camp, in Benue State. And the only excuse they can give was it was an error. Several error, one too many times. The same jets that Nigeria borrowed money from, several billions of dollars, was used to liquidate refugee camps, people that ran away from the Islamic insurgents caused by the Fulani headsmen and the Boko Haram and the Islamic Brotherhood and the ISIS of West Africa. 9 major terrorist groups in Nigeria. Nigerian terrorist government installed by America's Obama, Barack Obama and Joe Biden installed him there. They used that same jet that the Americans gave them to liquidate and erase refugees in Nigeria. The same jet was what they used to bomb Imo State, the land of the Igbos. They removed, in fact, they neutralized a whole community. Who called the jet to come and bomb Imo State? The executive governor of Imo State, an Igbo man called Hope Uzodinma. You see, his name is Hope, but he's completely hopeless. So Traore, they cannot lend money to good men or men of goodwill to use that money and buy weapons, but they can lend money to evil spirits called Nigerian leaders, from the political to the religious. Evil spirits. They used Super Tucano to bomb their own citizens. They didn't use it to engage war outside. That jet is in Nigeria, bombing the Nigerian citizens, even as we speak now. Traore, continue.
We weren't armed like this. Far from it. I think there are many elders here who have experienced the same thing, who can advise the younger ones about what we lived through just yesterday and what we are living through today. And that should give you the motivation to fight. Before we continue, if you love what we do here on this channel and would like to support us, then you might consider gifting us a super thanks donation of any amount. Or you might as well become an uplifting Africa channel member for exclusive content, perks and more. Links to join are in the pinned comment and in the description box. And that is very important. Fight for your lands. Fight to bequeath a better Burkina Faso to future generations. Fight so that we can exploit our resources decently and that it benefits us. We have launched several initiatives. Our parents in the village are more or less happy with everything we do for them in terms of agriculture, because the majority of our population is agricultural, for everything we are doing in terms of road infrastructure, to be able to move around and everything. But all of that is with our resources. You look at images of other countries, and you would like your country to also resemble those so-called developed countries. Do you think it's impossible? Well, it's possible. I was telling someone 2 years ago, I said that in other countries, even hospitals for animals are often better equipped than our hospitals that treat us. In terms of equipment and all. But what have we done to be at this level? Well, we are going to catch up and surpass them. This is what led us to launch programs also to build modern and equipped health centers. There's no reason for us to lag behind. This is to say that everything we do, there is the possibility of doing it. That's why we do it, and we will continue in this direction. Those who have the chance to go abroad for training and take photos by beautiful streets and beautiful buildings, it's possible here in Burkina Faso, and that's what we're going to do, so that you can live comfortably. But for that, you have to fight first. That's why I say you have to reflect on your commitment, listen to our anthem, and fight. You are very courageous, very combative, but often there are attitudes that cause unnecessary losses, notably the use of mobile phones.
Now, let us stop here now. Now, Traore has made the emphasis about the use of mobile phones. What we pointed out at the start of the program. Now, listen to what he had to say about the mobile phone. But in Nigeria today, that same mobile phone, that same communication gadget is being used to literally, how will I put it, gaslight each other. It's being used to defame, to destroy each other. Nigeria. Serious-minded people, they use these tools to develop in the sense of media information world to boom or boost their identity, their integrity, or whatsoever they stand for or believe in. But in Nigeria, reverse is the opposite. Reverse is the case. Absolutely insanity of the highest order, of the lowest order. Insanity 2.0 Pro Max in Nigeria. Listen to what he has to say about it, because we are going to thrash the madness in Nigerians right now.
Those who prove incapable of changing, of putting down their phones during operations, we will remove them from our ranks and we will punish them severely. Because we will not allow someone's phone addiction to put the lives of others in danger. Imagine you are on detachment at your position. Good soldiers are on watch, concentrated at their posts. They finish, they come down, they have to rest. And a saboteur is at the post with their phone on TikTok or 1xBet until the enemy approaches, attacks, and the good soldiers can die in their sleep.
You heard that. When good soldiers have finished battling and the time for shift has come for the order to take mount and do the job of defending the nations, you see them on TikTok. Soldiers on TikTok, soldiers on 1xBet, soldiers on Baba Ijebu, soldiers on Super Bets, on Lotto. They want to hammer and make money. The pastors are preaching. The clerics, Islamic clerics are preaching. The reason why we came into this world is to make money and live a La Vida Loca lifestyle. A lifestyle of flex beyond control, living dangerously on the edge of battle. As South African soldiers did when they went to the Congo to fight the rebels M23. M23 captured the entire South African military base. Do you know what it means to capture your military base? They captured everyone. At the end, when South Africa called back their soldiers back to their country, South Africa, the female soldiers, they all got pregnant in battle. Battle is going on. War is going on. Bullet is flying. But meanwhile, a biological bullet that is capable of producing a child was also being shot into the South African women. That's how they all got pregnant. Military women getting pregnant in battlefield. Is that not a shame? Is that not a disgrace? I mentioned South Africa here because the next one that we are going to bring will now highlight why we mention South Africa. These are the giants of Africa. Nigeria, South Africa, biggest economies of Africa, and the biggest useless people of Africa. No apology. You heard him. Soldiers will be on phones. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Nigeria will come out. Oh, this one drag that one. They drag. Deji Adeyanju is dragging Traore online. Reno Omokri, the man that Mokri came out from his name, he's dragging Traore online. Oh, this one is dragging Bianca Ojukwu. This one is dragging that one. That's all Nigeria stands for. That's why in Nigeria you can have 60 years old youth. In Nigeria, look at what he said. Soldiers will be on battlefield, being on TikTok. Then the next thing the soldier will say, Follow me for more. Look at, the bullets are flying that side. They are shooting this side. A soldier in battlefield. This is a lesson for all to learn. It's not even food for thought now. It's a lesson that you must sit down and think. It's only a demon that will hear this particular expose that we are doing now and get offended. You can get offended, we don't care. But remember, yesterday's survivors were today's victim. Today's survivors will be tomorrow's victim. Speak out now. Speak out. It's what you confess and what you acknowledge and you speak against that will enable you to act against. If you are sick and tired of this pitiable situation or conditions that you find yourself in, you accept the voice of truth, the voice that wakes you up. How many broadcasters or content makers can sound like this online when they are always cautious? Let us make that politically correct statement so that our page will grow, so that one political armed robber, aka the Nigerian politician or cleric, will call them and say, come and do the usual. Come and boost my image on social media. Come and be my spin doctor in front of the media. Project a good image about me so that people will like me, so that people wouldn't see how nasty, how corrupt, how shitty I am, and so on. You now see the Nigerian idiot, my brother Mike, a very dark bandit. They are always there. Oh, we are going to expose. We'll show the world. Who cares about you around the world? Black man, who cares about you when you hardly care about yourself? When witchcraft, backbiting, and wickedness is the order of the day in your community, in your houses, in your families. Look at Traore is explaining it here. You have to do away with your phone. If you must use the phone, project good image and stir up something that will make the world stand still and turn their heads to look what is actually going on there. Why is it not like that? Men in battlefield doing TikTok, soldiers doing TikTok online. Hey, let us continue.
Do you want us to keep them in our ranks? Is that what you want? Then we will remove them from our ranks and we will punish them. I have already given instructions to military commanders to identify, as much as possible, those who have this addiction, who cannot part with their phones. We will remove them and we will punish them because what they are doing is criminal. We cannot tolerate that. Of course, we raise awareness, but we cannot tolerate it. You can keep small phones. That's just to call family. But if there's no reason for it, we'll deal with those who have parents who are magistrates or others who perhaps participate in tribunals that judge terrorists.
You see what he said? That you can keep small phones, or perhaps your phones can be to create awareness, to let people know or speak out their voice, but getting addicted to it is an error. That they will deal with such people, they will remove them from the ranks of the military, they will deal with them, they will jail them. That it is a crime, a criminal offense. You see how discipline comes. It has to be root rugged. You see how discipline comes. But here, it's not like that. I have the right. You see a black monkey, educated animal called a black man, a professor. I have the right. Don't you know that the basic of human rights is the ability to do that which is acceptable, which is morally right. It's not just having right. A right is a responsibility to coordinate yourself in a proper way and manner. That is what the right is all about. It's not about having in Nigeria, an iPhone that we can buy in the US for $1,000. That same iPhone in Nigeria, you can sell it or buy it in Nigeria for $3,000 worth or more in Nigeria. Then you will not see the idiots that bought the iPhone. They come out, they hold it like this. They keep flashing it up and down. They keep flashing it to make you know the importance of their phone. They now forget themselves literally and expose themselves to danger. yet they are educated. Let's end this one here. Let's end it here. Enough of the Traore aspect. The next one coming up should be what happened to Nigerians in Saudi Arabia. But we are not going to go there. We'll just go straight to this particular one. It's going to be brief. Very, very brief. So that we would be able to come back. It's just for a minute. I don't think it will even get up to a minute, maybe a few seconds. So that we highlight it, because we are going to make a snap highlight of two important updates. This one is about the South African stuff that went down, or that is currently ongoing in South Africa. A country that weaponizes wickedness from the administrative points. Why I'm bringing this up? Two things. Why I'm bringing it up is to highlight a certain fact that we must accept. So let's go there. Yeah, that's that. We are crossing this other one also over here, and we'll talk about that particular one now. You see what went down there. Is this a Pan-Africanism that we are talking about? You know, every now and then they keep saying, oh, Africans are one people, we can unite. The white is causing issues, they are causing rancor, they are causing rift, they are causing division amongst the blacks. Hey, it is the white, it is Britain, it is America. Oh, China is far better. China said Africans cannot survive in China because they pick food on the ground. And in China, you can't pick food on the ground. That means literally Africans are animals. Now, it's not China. It is US, Britain, the West, that is polluting Africa, that is causing them to kill themselves. As a businessman, let's just put it this way. If your business is to sell caskets, coffins for burial, will you pray for you not to be able to sell your casket or your coffins? No. The more people come for burial or funeral rites and everything, the more you get money because you sell your products, which is caskets, you know? Likewise, the West. What do they have? They have the weapons, they have the technology, they have everything good and everything bad. But since you as Africans decided to say, give us Turkano, give us R5, R3, give us AK, Kalashin, give it to us so that we can use it to kill ourselves. And you pay them money, they sell it to you. So now I'm exempting the West completely from it, because what went down there in that video, it will never ever happen in any Western world, even China. This is South Africa. You can hear the ladies, people screaming, shouting. Kwere means foreigners. They barge into people's homes. As we speak right now, it's ongoing. This is going on now for roughly 1 month. They barge into people's home, loot, steal everything. And sometimes your life might go. They will beat you to the point of death. Their minister, Gaten McKenzie, is a public figure, a political leader that is the arrowhead leading people marching to hospitals to take out pregnant women, to take out people that are in ICU, throw them out in the street. It is happening in South Africa. No one is talking about it. Then you see Ramaphosa smiling to the world before the camera, shaking hands. But the lifestyle of his people is lower than low, is poorer than poor. He's not thinking about it. He's not thinking about fixing the mindset of his own citizen, but he's concerned about the global order. Look at what they are doing. Those people that went there in that video, they were led by the police, by Metro Police, and by immigration. 3. They will just stay back. The citizens will go and keep committing that crime. If you try to resist, the police will bring out brute force. So now, you are being humiliated. You are being tortured. You are being abused. But you dare not lift a finger in the name of self-defense, because the police, they are there with their guns to enforce you to accept humiliation and degradation, abuse, officially. How many news media is showing it? Can Vantage, Wion, Al Jazeera, can they show it? No, they will never do that. Do you know why? They are friends to South Africa, aka BRICS Alliance. BRICS. You see, BRICS is a shithole. BRICS can never ever survive, because the internal rancor and hatred amongst these things called BRICS people, more especially amongst Africans, is alarming. Even Lucifer himself is confused. Lucifer is not sure if he's the one orchestrating this madness and wickedness amongst Africans. That's what they are doing right now as we speak. It's official. It's legislative. They call it citizens arrest. The police will just be there. The citizens will start moving in. Sometimes if they meet you on the streets, your name is sorry. If they meet you and identify you as a foreigner, you are finished. You are finished. They will take everything for you, even strip you naked right there, beat you like it, like an animal, like a demon. It's going on. How many people are talking about it? How many? The answer is 0. Absolute 0. Nobody. And yet, people are always online. And you know, the most irritating part is, most of these uploads that we see, that we talk about, it's not done by anyone, but by the South Africans in the line of the abuse, of the crimes they are committing. They upload it online with their own hands. With their own hands. So who is abusing who? Is the question. Is this what what's his name? Traore, is this what he's fighting for? He's talking about being able to call a spade, being able to stand properly, to do the right things. Stop doing this, stop doing that. Use your mobile phones wisely. Now, this is a country called South Africa, using their own mobile phones to record abuse and the anti-social vices or crimes they are committing. They use their own hand to record it and upload it. It is no longer BBC. It is no longer VOA. It is no longer Al Jazeera that is doing this. They are the ones doing it with their own hands. Social media could have been a place where the voice of the voiceless will come united and cause a, something humongous, that the world will stand firm and turn their heads like this to say, what is going on? But it's not like that in Africa's case. In Africa's case, in this age and time, because their political leaders use them as weapons. A single South African citizen is already weaponized for destruction, self-destruction and destruction of others, aka the kamikaze syndrome. They are like suicide elements on free parole session. That is what the situation is as we speak. Then here is another mad one. For men that are Any little thing, you see them with their phones. You see men acting like babes. And the society of today is a norm to them for men to act as women, even more women than the real women that God created. Here is another Nigerian on your screen now. It's a young Nigerian guy from the eastern part of Nigeria, speaking so comfortably, confidently, just anything that you want. And look at, maybe this could be the mother. Maybe this could be the mother. Look at how they are all seated. Oh, we love you. Is this what our culture is all about? Our forebearers, our ancestors, did they recognize this madness that the world of today is accepting? Until the bandits or the animals called Africans realize that individuality counts. Not your tribe, not your race, not where you come from. If you can't see yourself as seed of mankind, but at least try to see yourself as a human being. To realize that there is a place and position for you in this world to achieve, explore, and boom. Not in this madness that we have decided, no, not we, that they themselves have decided to succumb to and surrender to. This madness. Listen.
My name is Eric Effiong, and I'm a Christian and a proud gay man. I know a lot of you feel that what I've just said is sinful and that I need to pray for forgiveness, but you're wrong.
Shut up, go back. You see, his name is Wanting Effiong, a proud gay bandit, and he's a Christian. Now, let us ask this fundamental question. Where did the term Christian or Christianity came from? Where? That's why any cock and bull can come out, claim anything they want to claim. And at the end of it, they now attach Christian to their name. Let me remove Traore from there because his picture doesn't deserve to be on top of this error. It's an error. This particular guy is an error. This is what we are talking about men being men, standing firm, defending the dignity of the borderland and building it up to an enviable status because the West, in fact, the entire world, they learned and they developed from the motherland. The moment they developed, instead of the motherland even being slow to catch up, the motherland now went into maximum reverse. Till today, we are still on reversal. We are still going backward. Despite the fact that civilization is booming, we are still going backward. Continue, Mr. Eric, Mr. Madman.
My name is Eric Effiong, and I'm a Christian and a proud gay man.
Now, can anybody show me where in the Bible did God or did the scripture support gay? Because the Bible is explicitly clear. It said, for this same reason, God gave them up to the lust of their own flesh, for man to lay with man and woman to lay with woman, that it is abominable in the sight of God. Is it not in your Bible? I'm asking you. That is opening your eyes like a torchlight. I'm asking you, is it not in your Bible? But today, the church accommodates. And when we speak, some people will come out to start pointing, oh, the book of Timothy, the book of Michael Jackson, the book of one crazy thing. Oh, God said we need to show love. We need to not be angry. The Bible said, holy anger, be angry against sin, be angry against wickedness. Where are all those things? It's no longer in their own Bibles anymore. A man will come out and dress like a chichi. And you say, just be calm. Everything is fine. God understands. Understand what? That is why abominations like this can be in the church and speak in the church. and everyone will be silent. If you are a coach, if you are a what's it called, motivational speaker, if you're a missionary, your job, in fact, coaches or coaches and missionaries, missionaries are, it's not all missionaries that are coaches. No, it's not all coaches that are missionaries, but all missionaries should be good coach. There are certain things, fundamentals, that you need to impute in the mindset of the subject that is before you, that you are trying to lead to the path of light or to the path of moral uprightness. You should be able to influence and affect positively the life of others. When they look at you, they either see the boldness of a lion, the sharp vision of an eagle in you, so that they will be able to stand firm in this turbulent time. Look at a man. He's a proud gay man, gay, everywhere. Mad people everywhere. Continue.
I know a lot of you feel that what I've just said is sinful and that I need to pray for forgiveness, but you're wrong. My heart is torn because I'm in a position where I have to either choose to hide my truth and live in pain, or be honest and lose my community. I keep getting told that I need to wait and be patient, but I'm tired of waiting. And I love myself too much to not tell my truth. So, if you love me as I am, I will be baptized. But if you don't, then I must leave.
Say it. Speak.
I love you as you are, my son.
You heard that? I love you as you are, my son. And that is the voice of the God, aka his mother. Ask this A.I.R bandits right now. Is this a culture in the whole of A.I.R from Uyo to wherever? Or Eket? Ask him. He's a proud gay man. Do you know where he is? He's in the UK. That is a haven that supports black mental subjugation, black mental insanity. They spin your head upside down. The people that ask you to become gay, they themselves, are they gay? The answer is no. But they can make children, they can get married. Then when you give birth to your own child, and your child becomes gay, your child cannot make a baby for himself or herself. They now go ahead to adopt a baby from someone else and turn that baby to an abomination. To an abomination. Look at, with tears on his face. Who cares how you shed your tears? This is shame, a disgrace. That's why we came up here tonight, to speak about these things. To speak about it. We are jumping into the next one. And this one, we are not going to talk about this one now, because there is something that we need to technically look into. There's something that we have to look into, which has to do with, because we are still going to what's it called? We'll take it for the last side, the Nigerian ban. You know what this man said? What's his name? Let's stop this one here now. Traore. Traore refused for his narrative or his story to be told by someone else. So he decided to literally tell his story with his own hand. He doesn't want anyone to rewrite the script or change the programs. This one on your screen now is coming from Gravitas. It's coming from Gravitas. So I want you to pay attention to it. It's like 13 minutes, but I won't get up to that point, so that I'll be able to come down immediately and talk about it before we jump over to the Nigerian side. All right? So let's go there. Let's stop. You see, the system of this world is so bad in a way that if you don't stand firm to stand for something, definitely you fall for anything. Then after a couple of years, they will not tell the narrative of your story as a blockbuster movie. Then they will make money from you. So watch this.
The year was 1979, the date February 1st.
No, sorry, from Vantage First Post. I don't know if I said it was from Gravitas before, but it's from Vantage First Post. So let's continue.
It was quite a foggy morning in Tehran, but cutting through that fog, a plane landed at the airport. A chartered Air France flight. Slowly, the plane came to a standstill, and from it emerged a bearded figure. A firm look on his face, a turban over his head, and a black robe trailing behind. The figure was unmistakable. It was Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. He had returned to Iran after 14 years in exile. He spent that time in Iraq and France, but that Thursday morning, he was back. It's probably the most important day in Iran's modern history. Millions of people turned up to welcome him. They cheered his every move and word. Khomeini would go on to declare an Islamic Republic in Iran. It ended almost 2,500 years of the Persian Empire, not to mention changed West Asia forever. But as historians say, revolution is the easy part. Building a country is much harder. So how did the Ayatollah set about creating modern-day Iran? How was the country's power structure made? Time for a flashback. You cannot understand modern Iran without understanding Khomeini. The country is built in his image. By the 1950s and 60s, he was already popular. His claim to fame? Opposing the Shah of Iran. The Shah was a Western ally. He tried to create a secular and liberal Iran. But Khomeini despised this. His hardline politics eventually got him exiled. In 1964, he moved to Iraq. It was here that Khomeini created the foundations of an Islamic state. But every state needs a glue. In democracies, it's the people. In monarchies, it's the royal family. What would that glue be in Iran? Khomeini settled on the Shia Muslim clergy. This concept was called Velayat-e-Faqih, or guardianship of the Islamic jurist. He explained it in a series of lectures which became a book. Khomeini said God created Islam to be followed as per the divine law, what is called the Sharia. And who knows the Sharia best? The Muslim clerics. So he said it's natural for the clerics to rule Iran. This concept was added to Iran's constitution, but not without drama. By 1978, it was clear that the Shah's regime would fall. It was only a question of when. So Khomeini's allies began making a draft constitution. It was said to be a progressive one. Separation of powers, United Nations Charter, no Velayat-e-Faqih, and no supreme leader. Khomeini brought this draft with him to Iran. In public, he said it was a nice document. And this is where we see shades of Khomeini, the politician. You see, the Iran of 1979 had many powerful groups. You had the Kurds, you had the working class, you also had the Marxists. So Khomeini did not want to rock the boat at first. But slowly, he made his intentions clear. First, he organized a nationwide referendum. And the question was simple. Should Iran be an Islamic republic or not? 98.2% voters said yes. So Khomeini announced his next step. He cancelled support for a proposed constituent assembly. This assembly was supposed to ratify the draft, but Khomeini said no need. Instead, he formed another body, the Assembly of Experts. Around 72 delegates were elected to this body. 55 of them were clerics. You can guess what happened next. This assembly overhauled Iran's draft constitution. It enshrined Vilayat-e-Faqih, focused heavily on the Sharia, and made Khomeini supreme leader for life. This constitution was put to the public in late 1979. It was implemented the next year, and thus the Islamic Republic was formed, after which Khomeini shifted to his next goal, reshaping Iran's society and polity. It would take up the final 10 years of his life. The country was very liberal back then. The clothes, the music, the college syllabus, all of it was quite progressive. So Khomeini went about dismantling it. He banned most democratic political parties, he shut down several magazines and newspapers, and in 1981, he began a cultural revolution. Universities were shut for 2 years. In this time, the syllabus was totally changed. Progressive ideas out, political Islam in. Almost 20,000 teachers were fired. Apparently, they were too westernized. Now, all of this did trigger some backlash. Iran's liberals and Marxists were not happy with Khomeini. So he needed someone to crack down on them. The army was not an option. In 1953, the Iranian army had sided with Western powers. Together, they had toppled Iran's elected leader. During the revolution, the army had promised to remain neutral, but Khomeini was wary. He did not trust them enough. So the supreme leader turned to his own militia, the Islamic Revolutionary Guards. It was different and independent from Iran's army, and it reported to just one man.
So let's interject quickly here. You see, Khomeini, he flew in from France, Western trained, Western indoctrinated, but he has his own plans. Now, the revolution that took out the Shah regime was also orchestrated by the same West, led by the US and France. So they are the ones that made the storyline of Khomeini, the Islamic revolution, and everything. It was backed again by the same West that had a Shah government that was friendly to the West. Maybe that government at some point had some little altercations with the West in view or in light of ideological concept, which never went down with the West, because the West, they are like vampires. So whenever they need to suck some blood from you and you refuse, they can, they can do away with you. So maybe it went down that way. So since Khomeini had been on exile in France and got indoctrinated, had so many agreements with them, they believed that he was the right man. So they had to project him into becoming what he was, or what he eventually became before he passed on and handed over to another Khomeini. That's how the Islamic State of Iran was bettered, how it came to stand today. So now, if it was the West that is the engine room that wrote the history book and gave the profile to them that made them to become what they are today, forget it. Russia, China, even North Korea cannot even help them now that they want to decimate the entire Iran. And they are going to do it, and no one is going to talk about it. These are the lessons that Traore learned from the people that came before him, that have been there. He saw that their association with the West was an error, because the moment you associate with them, they already have your blueprint. They've already started mapping you. They've already started tracking you. They've already started following up everything about you, So they know your movement. They can give you time to last as long as you want. But they are the ones that cause the shot. Even if you struggle, it's none of their business, It's like, now I want to liken Iran to this particular story. Or I just want to make an example of anyone that bites the finger that feed him. You know chicken, this cock, the ones they used to do your chicken licking, your KFC, your tasty fried chicken, all those kind of things. That main chicken, the hen, the cock. You know, when they want to kill it, they grab it, they remove the hands, they pin them on the ground, and you see that they keep shaking. Even when you cut off the neck, the chicken will still keep shaking. I'm struggling, I'm fighting against them. Oh yes, I didn't die in vain, but eventually you will die. That is how it is for anyone that allows their blueprint to be in the hands of someone else, more especially their enemies. Or you selling out to become a stooge, a saboteur against your own because you wanted to get the ultimate power. You are more like a chicken in the hands of the enemy. You see. So that is the way it has gone down, or it's going so far so good. There's no apology to this, but it's the truth. You cannot beat the West. If you like, have all the nuclear weapons, shoot sporadically anywhere you want to shoot. The only thing they can do, they just do coordinated nuclear attacks on your land, and you will be gone. You will be completely gone. Nothing will save you. That's why Traore rejected everything. Everything they threw at Traore, Traore said no. He has his own. That's why they are still finding it difficult to penetrate him. It's not that if they want to kill him today, they wouldn't be able to do that. But if they do, it will be a mistake that the West will make. And maybe, most likely, the dominance of the West will fall immediately. You know? Because the consequences of the Western action against Traore in this event will be something that the West will not be able to bear. They know. That's why they are trying to give Traore a bad name. They are looking for an opportunity to be able to get into Traore and do what they want to do to him. Now they are doing it to Iran. You know, they are the ones behind the power of Iran against the Iraq 8 years war. They are the ones supporting Iran, US and so on. They were supporting. And the same Iraq that they destroyed eventually, they are the same ones that trained Saddam Hussein. So it's like everyone are pawns in the hands of the West. So how do you want it to be? To be a friend of America, to be an enemy of America is dangerous. To be a friend of America is fatal. It's far, far dangerous than being regularly dangerous. So the best thing you can do to these people, the American government system, led system of this world, don't be their friends, don't be their enemy. Let us use the term of the Americans. They said it is strategic ambiguity. Just leave your relationship with them like that. Don't make a deal with the devil because they are the devil that you see. They know the consequences of striking Traore. And Traore is playing very nice and neat according to the books. So there is no reason they can be able to do such. Maybe someone is giving them a history lecture of what led to World War I. It was the killing of one person. But in this situation, they can blow up or wipe out Iran. Nothing will happen. Even the threat China is making will go nowhere. But you see Traore, they can do it to him, they can wipe him out, but it will cause a nuclear reaction from different angles. They know the consequences. It's too expensive for them to dare that one. And this should share this story or this broadcast. Let it get to Traore so that he will hear about this analysis that we are making about what's going on in Iran, so that he can draw strength and courage, not just Traore, but to the men in the Sahel. And they will know where they need to put their feet on. Let them lecture their people in their countries to wake up. Then by the law of natural sequence, the saboteurs within them will weed off. They'll wither off, just like the normal wheat. So, with this one, we are jumping straight into this other side. Into this other side. This particular one now on your screen has to do with, let's put it here. I don't need to see that guy's face. Let it be here like this. This particular one on your screen has to do with the so-called Holy Land. Where is the Holy Land? Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia eventually bans Nigeria from visiting the Holy Land. Another visa hammer on Nigeria. Why is it like this? It's simple. We have said this time without number. But the problem here is that we are dealing with black people. And it is obvious that black people, they hate anything that has to do with intellectual prowess. They hate it with passion. They are educated, but they are vague. Very empty. Very, very empty. Though educated, but very empty. This is something that, you know, if it comes to the Nigerian content makers here, oh, it was alleged. Let's say Whitney Houston died. The world knows that Whitney Houston died. Then the Nigerian content maker or the Nigerian newscaster will come. Oh, it was alleged that Whitney Houston died, but eventually her death became real, and it was alleged that something led to her death. I don't understand what they mean by that. She's dead. Then you now say it was alleged that she died, but eventually the allegation became true, but it was alleged that something killed her. You understand? Maybe she might die of, let's say, cancer, for instance. They'll say, oh, it was alleged that she died of cancer. It was alleged. I don't get to understand this madness of English. They know the truth. Different stories have been coming up about Nigeria, about Nigerians, how things is going on. All were defaming, character assassination of these people called Nigerians. But no single one of them, they have thousands of people online coming to do content. None of them can address this issue. Next thing, if you talk to them, say, oh, forget it, it doesn't matter. Anything can happen. The world knows that they are saying rumors about us. The world is not like that. But today, lo and behold, Saudi Arabia bans Nigeria from even going to the country. They said it is not political, and they forgot that when they said it's not political, it means that it is far worse than that. Because if it's political, it's understandable. They can, you know, after some diplomatic exchanges, things can be restored. But this one, they just said, oh, we needed black sheep. They mentioned a few countries. They mentioned a few countries in Saudi Arabia that they wanted to carry this action against. But lo and behold, just as America did, America mentioned 6 countries. Eventually, they didn't touch anyone. It was only Nigerians. Thousands of Nigerians deported. This, how many months ago, as Trump entered office? The same pattern now has played out again in Saudi Arabia. They mentioned a couple of countries, but the only country that they could do this thing to is Nigeria. We have educated animals everywhere. Educated animals, very sound. Then we have proud, foolish people that feel they have money. Once you see them come out, they do their chest like this. Then you see the young men in Nigeria today, they are all going for lips surgery to peel off the layers of their lips and make their lips to become pink. Pink. Nigerian men. But globally, politically, Nigeria is zero. If any country in the world will ban Nigerians, is this Saudi Arabia that Nigerians are busy cutting off the head of people for the sake of Saudi Arabia? Nigeria is in the Nigerians, they are in their country now in the name of Islam, cutting off the head of people in Nigeria right now for Islam. The same Islam now said, don't come to our country anymore, you people are useless. Can you imagine? But Islam went to Burkina Faso, we'll give you 300 well, 200 more. The guy said, get out with your Islam. Get out. We are talking of restoration of human dignity. You are coming now that we are trying to breed to give us another slave mentality, slave chain. First slave chain officially is democracy. Now you came with your own. We know your name is Ibrahim. That means you're a Muslim. So let us give you 200 mosques. You guys say, get out. Go with your mosque. Get away from here with your mosque. Quickly before we shoot you. They ran away. But Nigeria, they accepted it. They banned Nigeria. Don't come to this country. You people are useless. And we have Nigerians. Ish. The time has gone in this program. Tomorrow we'll be back here. We will rebroadcast this particular one. This particular ban now, we'll start it up tomorrow. We are going to stop that. Something just crossed my mind. Let me look for that video and bring it. You see a Nigerian girl. She has no work. She doesn't work. She has nothing to do. But she went for cosmetic surgery. Cosmetic surgery that swallowed or consumed over $20,000. She doesn't work. Almost 40% of the high-class chicks in Nigeria today, they are all doing cosmetic surgeries. Minimum $20,000, $30,000. Now Nigeria is so impoverished, poverty-stricken in Nigeria. But they can cover that money to do body enhancement. You enhance your body to sell your body in the name of prostitution so that you can make more money. That is it. Just listen to this one. We'll come back tomorrow and finish it up. So that as this one is playing, we are also showing you the Nigerians, how they are behaving. Boys and girls doing cosmetic surgery. Even men in Nigeria doing, what's it called, Botox, expanding their backside to be like women's own. In Nigeria, men in Nigeria. Huh? And we should show love, Christianity. We should be Christianity. There's no such thing as Christianity. Even Christian is an abomination. It was never in the book. It was never in the scripture. Because the so-called people called Christian or the followers of Yeshua, they are so useless to a fault that anything they see is fine. Why? Because they will open the book of Timothy. They will open the book of Philip or the book of James that will accommodate their nonsense. They cannot go to the book of Jeremiah. They cannot go to the book of Isaiah. Nahum, they can't go there. Even Revelation, they stay away from it. They can never ever open Matthew 23:23. They can never. They will stay away. They only look for one side to pick and say, oh, because it is here, that's why they are foolish. They'll just show it to you. We should waste, we should waste our time to pray for reprobates. The people that the scripture call reprobates, because of this, I gave them up for this. Then we should not waste our time to start fighting God when we haven't even fought for our own lives and the people that we will be able to help. We should start praying for people that are already condemned while they are alive. It's not possible. Look at your holy country banning you people, Nigerians. Don't come here, you people stink. We don't want to see you. So let it roll. It won't roll for long because we are coming back tomorrow.
Arabia suspended key visas for Nigerians, including Umrah, business, and family visits, in a sweeping move before Hajj 2025. But why always Nigeria? Why these types of visas? And is this really about safety or something far more targeted? Let's find out. Saudi Arabia didn't call it a ban. They never do. Instead, they called it a temporary suspension. That's how it always begins, with careful phrasing, with sterile bureaucratic language that turns a discriminatory act into a mere adjustment. No drama, just logistics. But let's be honest, these aren't just suspended pieces of paper. These are lives interrupted, families blocked, businesses paused, and prayers deferred. And when the kingdom uses this polished, professional tone, saying this is about safety and management, it disguises the fact that this is something targeted, not universal. Something directed not at behavior, but at identity. And for reasons left unspoken, that identity seems to look like a Nigerian passport, over and over again. What's more striking is how these types of suspensions always start with African countries and rarely end anywhere else. The visa halt covered 14 nations, yes, but when the headlines hit, it was Nigeria that got the spotlight and the sting. The world didn't rush to clarify, it rushed to judge, as if it.
You heard that. They said it was for 14 countries. But when it was implemented and it came out in the media, it was only Nigeria. America was 6 African countries. But it was only Nigeria. So Nigeria now is in 6 African countries. Only Nigeria, 6 countries. So they started deporting. Saudi Arabia now, 14 countries when it came out. Only Nigerians. They are the ones. Even for the Hajj, for the Salah, they say, we don't want to see you people. Maybe your political leaders, like the thief that are loyal to them, they can allow those ones to enter. But for you, normal Nigerians, you cannot enter there anymore. No more. Just imagine. Then what the madness going on in South Africa, their primary target is Nigerians. Just listen, you will see. But we will stop the program soon because this one, we are going to rebroadcast it tomorrow.
It was normal for Nigerians to be blocked from entry, even for religious or family reasons, as if we've come to accept it as just another part of international travel. Nigerians might be denied. That's just how it goes. But think about this. What other country has to constantly defend its innocence just to apply for a religious visit? What other nation's entire population gets treated as a visa risk class? This isn't just about formality or protocol. This is about perception, about who is considered manageable and who is seen as suspicious. And Saudi Arabia isn't alone in playing this game. Gulf nations, European consulates, and even African embassies abroad have all at some point taken part in the ritual of filtering Nigerians out of the easy approval pool. The process becomes the punishment. The delay becomes the message. And the language, cold, impersonal, we regret to inform you, becomes the veil that hides prejudice. It's especially painful because it never begins with violence or open hostility. No one screams. No one points fingers. It all happens through forms, portals, and email notices. One moment you're preparing for a family reunion or a pilgrimage. Next, you're part of a silent group. Not detained, not rejected outright, but simply not allowed. Quietly sidelined. Quietly blocked. That's the real power of soft repression. It doesn't spark outrage, it just wears you down. It creates a world where certain people, often African, often Nigerian, start to believe that travel itself is a privilege, not a right. And that's the exact mental terrain in which injustice flourishes. When the language is mild, resistance feels dramatic. When discrimination hides behind temporary suspension, complaints sound like overreaction. And here's the twist. Many Nigerians affected by this move didn't even plan to perform Hajj. Some were just going to visit family. Some had business meetings, trade negotiations, or leisure trips. Yet they were lumped into a broad category and filtered out, not because of what they planned to do, but because of where they came from. Saudi officials said this was not a political decision. But if it isn't political, then it's even worse, because it's structural. It means that Nigerian exclusion has become an administrative habit, not a controversy. That's what happens when discrimination becomes so common, it's embedded in policy without needing justification. Which begs the question, If this pattern is so calm, so routine, and so quietly accepted, what's driving it beneath the surface? Is it about faith management or about faith-based hierarchy? Is this about logistics or control? Who gets to move freely, and who gets slowed down until they give up? To answer that, we need to move beyond the paperwork, beyond the what, and into the why. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. It's easy to say that a visa policy is just bureaucracy. It's harder to admit that it's also psychology. But when Nigerians are the first to face blanket suspensions, the first to be flagged in international systems, and the first to be named in restrictions across continents, the message becomes impossible to ignore. The Nigerian traveler is not seen as neutral. He is a risk. She is a red flag. They are not treated like pilgrims, tourists, or professionals. They are treated like a potential problem before they even apply. This isn't paranoia, it's repetition. And it always starts the same way, not with evidence, but with assumptions. When Saudi Arabia suspended visas, it didn't provide a breakdown of who was misusing them. They didn't say, here's how many cases of fraud or overcrowding came from Nigeria last year. They didn't need to, because the stereotype was already doing the heavy lifting. The narrative writes itself. Nigerians overstay, Nigerians smuggle, Nigerians bypass. That's how prejudice operates in diplomatic systems, by crafting an unwritten reputation that replaces data with default suspicion. And Saudi Arabia isn't inventing this on its own. The stereotype of the Nigerian traveler has been nurtured by decades of global mischaracterization. Western media often paint.
You heard it. It's a stereotype that is negative. Nigerians are this, Nigerians are that, but it's all lies. All lies. But we have Nigerians that are educated. None of them, not even one, can spot this thing. That's why I love China. China will hear something, even if it's a rumor, they will stand up and address it. Even America, they will stand up and address it. Fix this thing. But Nigeria, they just accept it. Next thing you hear them talk. Now, so God one time, oh, simple, meaning that is the way God wants it. Nigeria, land of useless people. Britain did a solid job to gather a bunch of useless people and put them together to form a nation called Nigeria. This is a stereotype. They just took it and said, okay, let us test it on Nigeria. Let's just announce that it will be 14 countries. They publish it, 14 countries. Lo and behold, today it's just only Nigeria. Don't come for the Hajj, we don't want to see you. You know, Nigerians will come out, oh, they love our money. It's because we have money. So they'll go there, they'll misbehave. They don't, ethics, moral ethics, many of them, they lack it. Many, because they believe in the theory of greasing the palm, of dropping bribes to have their way through. That's why when it comes to administrative issues like this, you don't see them. No matter how many billions these people have, when it comes to certain classical administrative issues, you will not find a Nigerian there. It's not that Nigerians are not there. You see the rare exceptional ones, with or without money, you will see them in the front line. But the vast majority of them, you can never ever find them there. You see? It's a normal thing. Let it continue.
Nigerians as scammers, criminals, and desperate migrants. Visa officers read those same headlines. Border agents absorb the same caricatures. And over time, it forms an informal policy that doesn't need to be spoken. Check the Nigerian twice. So when Saudi authorities say this visa suspension isn't political, what they mean is, it doesn't have to be. The political part is already baked into the system. By the time a Nigerian applies, they're already walking uphill. Not because of anything they've done, but because of what others expect of them. This suspicion isn't just felt at borders. It bleeds into every layer of the process. Nigerian applicants are asked for more documents. They wait longer for replies. They're more likely to be rejected without explanation. Even when they meet every requirement, the shadow of what if hangs over them. What if they overstay? What if they disappear? What if they cause problems? But here's the hypocrisy. Nigerians are also among the most committed, law-abiding pilgrims. Year after year, they save up for Hajj, go through approved channels, travel in groups, and follow procedure. Their religious devotion is sincere, but it's never the headline. Instead, it's the rare case of abuse that becomes the rule, the exception that becomes the identity. It's not just unfair, it's lazy. Rather than fix gaps in management or enforce accountability across the board, countries like Saudi Arabia take the shortcut. Suspend the visas, blame the Africans, and move on. It's a policy of avoidance dressed as protection. And this profiling isn't only about religion. It extends into economics and class. A Nigerian business person trying to attend a summit in Riyadh is treated with the same skepticism as a low-income traveler. There's no differentiation, just one label, Nigerian. And that label becomes a border in itself, more powerful than any document. The worst part? This global suspicion becomes internalized. Young Nigerians start to believe that their passport is a curse, that international travel is a gamble, applying for a visa is an act of begging, that they are somehow less deserving of mobility. And when that belief settles in, the damage runs deeper than policy. It infects identity. So now we must ask, if these stereotypes are so strong, so persistent, and so normalized, what are they protecting? Because suspicion is never free-floating. It serves a purpose. And in this case, it creates a structure of control where access is determined not by intention, but by perception. This leads us to the next level of the issue. If Nigerians are stereotyped and filtered not because of what they've done, but because of how they are viewed, then maybe this isn't about misbehavior at all. Maybe this is about managing movement, deciding who gets to enter, who gets to participate, and who gets left waiting at the gate. So the next question becomes, is this truly about safety or about something deeper? Something designed to restrict African presence and influence even in religious spaces? If suspicion is the mindset, then control is the machinery.
Yeah, all right. We'll leave it here because we said we'll come back tomorrow so that we can start this on a full scale. We needed to make touchdown on certain aspects, more especially on the side of the Ayatollahs. Why the West can support you, program you, sponsor you, and do everything, thereby placing a tab on you, on your blueprint. They possess it and they use it to control you. They use it to bring you down. That's why we say there are lessons to learn here. And these lessons to learn will continue tomorrow from this Nigerian side and the stereotyping. Why silence is dangerous. Why not being able to stand on the side of truth and speak out is dangerous. Why back pass is the deadly. Back pass is bribe, corruption, saboteur. Why it's like that. A nation that has so much educated people is found wanting in matters or affairs that could give them strength. You don't find them there. You find them on the side of foolishness, which Traore warned against. With this, we have come to the end of today's broadcast. We'll definitely continue from here tomorrow, and we'll talk more about these misdemeanors, these failures that is going on around us now. So from here, from us in the studio to you out there, we'll say bye-bye. We'll see you all tomorrow.